the train is coming, and I figured what better way than to look like a train wreck and talk to you guys about these things that have been bothering me and just been building up. It's no secret that Brian and his kids are good people. I haven't been able to do my videos because guess what? My makeup won't stay on. And my fake lashes fall right off the harder I cry. But not just that. It sounds so cliche, doesn't it? It takes a tragedy or something like this for us to wake up and be like, hey, take care of yourself. I haven't been taking care of myself. Have you guys? Because I've been drinking energy drinks like a crazy person, eating holiday cookies like a crazy person, and I have like 1,000 million things going on. First of all, are you guys gonna run seeing me with no makeup on and no makeup? And oh, look, my new shirt, woohoo! And it has train squad on here, I think. Yeah, train squad. Boom. And it says for the love of all music. There's my promo for the day. I don't even know if that made sense. Anyway, I have a lot to talk about. I have a lot to get to. If you guys make it through this video, please write a comment. I don't want to say hit thumbs up because that sounds lame. I was very afraid of ever doing a video with no makeup on because let me tell you something. I read all these YouTube what have you and like how to be better and all this kind of stuff. I don't do any of those things, you know, except for look your best because, or try to look your best because that's train squad. And do you know that I always say train gang and that doesn't make any sense. Why would I say train gang when it's supposed to be train squad? That just goes to show you how much I do not think sometimes when I just throw stuff out there. My mind really goes a million miles an hour. Mostly I'm thinking about my kids. Mostly I'm thinking about if the school calls. My son, for whatever reason, and they do say that boys get sicker quicker when they're young. It's like, you guys are so fragile as children. First of all, the fact that men are even born into the world is way more miraculous than women. Let me tell you why. I forgot. But it's true. In school, they tell you that for some reason it's just like as fetuses or whatever, you guys are just not very viable. And then when you guys come out, you guys are sick, and then you guys are slow. Like everybody keeps telling me, oh, your son's just slow. That's how boys are in the beginning of school. I'm like, oh yeah, then why do we have people that are on the moon? Or why do we have people like Elon Musk and, you know, people like Dale Earnhardt and, you know, these giants in the world that conquered something so unreal? Like, huh? You know, and then the whole thing with, you know, science, it's just like, yeah. And I know there's a lot of people out there that know the whole medical thing, and you guys are like, geez, what kind of nurse are you? Well, I'm a nurse that doesn't like to talk about SEX a lot and all that goes with it, because let me tell you, when my mom explained the birds and the bees to me, I was just like, I'm gonna be a nun. I wanted to throw up, and I figured if a boy even touched me, I was gonna be pregnant. And so believe me, I was karate chopping boys left and right. I'm like, don't even hug me, because kids are a big responsibility. Speaking of which, I love my children. Everything I do is because of them. Do I feel like maybe I gotta kind of back off and let Aegis grow up? Yes, even though I don't want to. This morning I woke up, made the whole house extra warm. I knew that would wake my husband up too, because he cannot sleep in anything past 73 degrees. It's literally 71 right now in this house. But the kids will wake up if it's 72. And I go and I kiss them and I love them and I tell them, I hope you guys have good dreams. I whisper good dreams in your ear. Now, am I without fault? Hell no. Take, for instance, yesterday. And if you guys don't know, I'm going to be scatterbrained. I'm going to be all over the place. You guys are kind of like my diary. That's a great way to put it. You guys are my diary. And feel free to write comments, as you know, because believe me, I It's going to be all over the place. So I go back to lay down for 10 minutes, and I'm just kind of like, man, I love my kids. Karate punch to the air. I love them. They're so cute and squishy. And I sing them random didn't want to say that word. Random, ridiculous songs. And I apologize if I offended anybody out there. I make mistakes all the time, as you can see. I am not without fault. It's just that I throw them out there and say, look, you could either hate me for all my faults, or you can just say, you know what, yeah, you're full of flaws. Welcome to Earth. So I laid down, and then all of a sudden here comes my little boy, and he was dressed. That's a big deal. He takes his time. He never wants to go to school. It's not really because he's being bullied anymore, per se, but it's because the teacher, I don't want to single out one teacher, don't have any faith in him. He is behind. He is the last person in his class to do anything and get everything right. But also at the same time, he listens to instructions like they're the instructions to his life. If it's always been take a test, pencils down, and then the teacher will let you know when to raise your hand to give the test over, he's waiting for those instructions. If the teacher forgets and she assumes, or he assumes, that the kids already know, don't think that with my son. He's waiting for you to say something. He's waiting for you to say the words that need to be said for him to do what he needs to do. So case in point, my son is the last kid to pass the easiest math. The answers are literally 3 and 4, 3 and 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, like that. It's just 2 plus 1 and 3 plus 1 and 4 plus 1 and 1 over 3 and or 1 plus 3 and 2 plus 1, and it's ridiculous, right? Under a minute. And I'm like, gosh, you got to finish this whole sheet in under a minute. Well, he says yes. My daughter says no. Of course, Perseus knows the rules. She's in a different class. She's already on like Rocket Math C. So I'm perturbed. My son's still on Rocket Math A. Oh my gosh, what do you mean you're on Rocket Math A and everybody else is on B or C? And my son's going on and on how he's a failure and this and that. I'm like, cancel that out. Cancel that out. We don't talk like that. So he's trying not to be sad. I mean, mind you, I'm going over math and I'm going over words, and I'm talking just like this, as fast as I possibly can. We have a stack, it looks like this, of words that we've got to go through. It looks like I'm bringing out this to go over flashcards with him, okay? So, this kid's like, oh, I have a headache. I'm like, me too, and I still got to do YouTube. So, we get through the words. It could be who, W-H-O, and he's like, sometimes you'll hear me kind of like take a jab. I don't mean to take a jab or anything, but it's my way of kind of letting it be known, like, kids are not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to make fun of him. I love my son, but at the same time, I can't make fun of anybody else's kids. I don't know anybody else's kids. And those parents might freak out, I already got enough problems. So, and I want Aegis to be able to laugh at himself. I don't want him to be like, well, you know what? I'm the worst person at school, and I can't wait till I get to, 16 years of age in high school, and I don't have to go anymore. I'm just going to tell my mom, I'm done. I don't want that. I want him to want to be a student of life. I don't want him to look back and think, man, if I only finished high school, man, if I only finished college, man, if I only finished... I don't want him to think that way. I want him to already, it be ingrained. He's going to finish school. He's going to maybe not enjoy it, but there's going to be things in school he will enjoy. There's going to be strengths. It does take teachers that will take that away. It does take parents. It takes a combination of kids, their friends, parents, and teachers that will rob people of that satisfaction. Teachers are humans too. They make flaws. They say things like, you're never going to make it, or you're going to, case in point. There's a doctor that I used to work for. He used to be Jerry's main dude. And he said in school, he always wanted to speak French. He had a French class. French teacher from France told him, give up. You are the worst. Your accent's bad. You can't speak it. You can't translate it. You can't write it. I mean, you're just awful. Guess what? When you have somebody like Jerry Kirk who works for you, and you're a doctor already, and people love you because you're charismatic, you're going to make money. Oh, it also helped that the doctor's dad was also a doctor a long time. I mean, we can't even tell you what a legend he is here in this town. That name is synonymous with respect. So anyway, Jerry's making a bunch of money because it's kind of like the more people that Jerry sees, he eats what he kills. That kind of a thing. If he wants to be lazy, well, then you're going to get lazy pay. You want to work hard? Then guess what? You're going to be making them bucks. So, you know, cold season and stuff like that, where everybody comes in, they're just like, I'm miserable, my throat is sore, He's going to do, you know, what he does. He's going to prescribe what he prescribes. He's going to talk to you, you know, make you feel great. I mean, Jerry was always hey, Jerry, I saw you in the paper. What'd you go to jail for this time? You know, Jerry's like the honorary redneck of the town. For real. And, Dr. Soren would always laugh about that. Sorry, I almost said the whole entire name. Not good. Would always laugh about that because he was the exact opposite. He had to be upstanding in the community. He couldn't make one mistake. Everybody was looking down their nose at him already. He had his father's respect to maintain. He has children that he has to, you know, all these things. So anyway, the French teacher was like, yep, you're never going to make it. You're just horrible. And so guess what? He moved to France for 5 or 6 months, uprooted his family, became fluent, knows how to write it, knows how to order, knows everything there is. Je m'appelle, la la la, and je habite, and all the things that you got to say. And knew the best restaurants to go eat. I mean, just talking, chatting up people. Came back, went to his French teacher, made sure everybody was gone, and said, you know what? I may be a doctor. I could have paid for a professional tutor. But I took the opportunity to take my family, because I didn't want my family to ever come across a teacher like you, or a person like you, that may have downplayed my success. And my success was being fluent in French. It's a lovely language. It's the language of diplomacy. And so that, you know, and he's saying all of this in perfect French, by the way, which makes it even more wow. And I never forgot that. So that leads me back to my kids and how long this video is. I'm not sure. It is recording. Holy moly macaroni. I didn't really want you guys to see this. First, I didn't want you guys to see me break down about Brian. Thank you for all of your well wishes and prayers. Hold on, I'm sorry. I didn't want you guys to see me breaking down all yesterday or last night, so you guys got a bunch of recorded videos that I was able to do before I made that really sad one, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get through anymore. I'm home from work, by the way, because they know there's a lot going on, and if I could wish for something, it would be that Brian would be all right. I can't stress enough how important parents are to children. I almost lied to my own son when he asked me why I was so sad. And I said, I'm afraid to look at a video because I think my friend is gone. And then, of course, my son doesn't think that way. He thinks, what if my mom dies of a broken heart? So, I have to get it together and pretend like everything's fine so that my son will not stress. And then, of course, it seems like I'm spending way too much time with my son. So then my daughter feels neglected. So then I tell Aegis, I need to go see how Briseis Bear is doing. Well, she's already done with her homework, while me and Aegis have just barely started. So I tell her, then you go take a lovely bath, I'll put some Epsom salt in there because I know that you're doing all your monkey bars and that takes strength. And your little muscles are probably sore. She takes the fastest bath known in history. And I'm like, how can that be? Your hair's not even wet. Well, then she throws a temper tantrum. You didn't tell me to wash my hair. And so she flails her arms about, you know. She starts making a big spectacle. And it's just me, Aegis, sitting like this, trying to get homework done, and my daughter freaking out. And I'm looking at her, and I get my mom voice out, and I say, there is no way that you're going to speak to me like this. I asked you to take a bath. That means you wash behind your ears, and you wash your neck, and you scrub your arms, and it's not just the lower half of your body, it's the upper half too. So she trudges, she's stamping all the way back through the hallway to the bathtub, and she's yelling. We can yell in this house, but she's carrying on, and so Aegis and I are unable to concentrate. So Aegis is like, I love you, Mom. I love you too, babe. He's trying to calm me down because he knows I'm going to go over there and it's going to be lightning and it's going to be thunderbolts. Am I going to hit my daughter? No. But I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking a good spank on that butt of hers, it would wake her up. Then I start hearing her talking to herself. I'm just going to go to my room, she says. I'm just going to go to my room after my bath and I'm going to go to sleep. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to do this. So I'm like, okay, maybe she just needs time to herself. So I continue to try to help Aegis. I can see he can't even focus. He needs quiet. You know, my son's a different way of learning. He's a different way of being. So then she starts, you know, going on and crying and I'm like, what in the world? So I go back there. I was like, Mercedes, I really want to give you a spanking. I really want to write your name on my hand and give you a spank, one good one. And she's horrified, like, oh, how dare you think of such a thing, you know? And I'm like, do you understand why? The reason why is because here I let you have everything that you guys are wanting. You know, you guys want this particular toy for doing this good in school and this particular movie for doing so good in school, and we reward you that way. And then you go and treat me like this. You go and lose your, you know, patience or whatever because I tell you to take a bath, to soak in the bath for your little muscles. I said, this doesn't make any sense to me. I didn't ask you to clean your room, which, by the way, needs to be cleaned. I didn't ask you to scrub the floor or take the trash out. Nothing. Nothing. I just said, take a bath, chill out, and there you are, right back at my shoulder, and I'm trying to help Aegis with his homework. So I'm looking at her, and her eyes are like this from crying. So I'm calm, and I look at her, and I say, what are you really afraid of? What is wrong? She starts looking over at the toilet, looking at me, looking at it. I go, what is it you're afraid of? What is going on? She looks at the toilet. She looks at me. I'm scared of monsters. I said, you're scared of monsters in the toilet. I remember being that way. But then I forced myself to keep looking there because I would flush the toilet and then like literally run over to the door as fast as I could, look back. I remember doing all that stuff as a child. So I felt bad for her and I said, okay, I'm going to tell you something. You were an infant at one time when we lived in this house. The monster, if there is one, which there is not, would have taken you and brother by now. Me too. Me as well. Sometimes I'm here all by myself. What's stopping that toilet monster from coming out and getting me? Have you thought about that? Have you really, really, really done, you know, all the work behind it? No, Mom. I'm like, well, I'm just letting you know that you let your temper get the best of you and it made me very upset. And your brother really needs to concentrate. So Aegis goes back there and he says, don't let your fear run your life. Sometimes my son turns into like this psychologist out of nowhere. Sometimes it really scares me. That, not monsters, but that scares me. If my husband and I are arguing, trying to be like quiet here, arguing, my son will come in and we'll stop arguing, but they can sense it. The energy is in the air. It's wrong. You know, they feel like, ew, what's this yucky, bad energy? He'll come in and he'll say, Mother, Father, I don't want you guys to not get along. You guys love each other. You guys got married out of love. You guys had us out of love. I'm like, who is this kid that talks so much sense? Who are you? It freaks me out. That's what scares me. So, anyway, long story short, Bear is happy. She exhausted herself to the point of she literally passed out as soon as getting in the bed, you know. So we had a good talk. Jedediah gets home. I told him what was going on. He kind of laughed because, you know, it's funny what kids do. Kids do exactly what we did as kids. You know, they roll their eyes and they get busted in the mirror because I saw her doing that. But my son, no, not at all. He's just like, I love you, Mom. It takes a lot for him to lose it. So anyway, back to Brian. So kids need that. Kids need their dad. They need a disciplinarian. They need a father to look to. They need to learn how to play sports. They need to learn how to fish. They need to learn how to do all these things, be outside. They need to learn how to extend their hand out, letting a lady out of the car, opening the car door. Things that people are complaining about that no longer exist. You know, chivalry is dead. Well, it's dead because the fathers that be are not showing their sons how to be, and it also takes the sons to behave themselves and to put their pride aside and learn. And we can go on and on about women because I'm not liking how the women these days are acting either. I listened to some hip hop on the way home and I'm like, this is what is being said. And I'm listening to satellite radio, by the way. I had satellite radio before I had YouTube. I listened to all kinds of music, like I said. So that really scared me. So I reached out to Juice TV. Shout out to Juice. I doubt he's watching this. But I'm like, I need help with this younger kind of hip-hop. I'm like, this is not... I mean, is Snoop and Dre and, you know, are they all saying... They're saying some pretty gross stuff, but not like, my God, swallow my kids and, you know, come on. It's just like, everything is so almost to the point of, I just want to vomit. Hate to say it, but it's true. It's like, we're going to describe the whole baby making process in a song in the most lewd way possible, and this sells? Yuck. What happened to poetry? What happened to describing flowers? What happened to describing the sun? I mean, what happened to describing the sky? Where's all that? And no, I don't want people to start bashing on hip-hop, because there's some awful music out there too, whether it be country, blues, whatever. There's going to be some really off-key people or some lyrics that don't even make sense, and somehow it sells. It's just, you know, it just happened to be I was listening to hip-hop on the way here. So anyway... And then, Nefarious, shout out to Nefarious, I call him Nims. I wanted him to do a podcast. I still want him to do a podcast, and I want him to do a skit with Blindsight. I know they're funny. So I'm waiting for that. And Nims also was like, well, if I do a podcast, will you be a guest? Well, hell yes, I'll be a guest. I have lots to talk about. He could just be there intervening while I just go on and on from one subject to the next. Hopefully nothing that makes me cry. So there's that. And then Hillbilly, of course. Hillbilly 84. He's a reaction channel. He's been with me since the beginning, too. Shout out to you guys, by the way. I always want to see what Hillbilly's up to. Such a good guy. He's got a son, you know. There's lots of you that have children. Some of you have children that are grown. Some of you have children that are tiny, tiny babies. All I can tell you is you're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. The only parenting advice I could give you is you love your kid. Love that kid. Love that kid. That kid is you. That's a little you. That's a little whomever you were with at the time, you know? So, kids need that. Kids need love. They need to know you love them. I always get on my husband because sometimes he gets moody. And I'm like, ooh, I wouldn't want to be around you either, you know? And he's just like, well, how dare you? And I'm like, well, how dare you, man? Who, like, don't get up then. Stay in bed. You know, and he's just like, well, but it's true. Like, how am I going to sit there and be miserable? And you're going to make it takes my kids being miserable and being like, man, dad's miserable, for me to be like, go back to bed. Eat some chocolate. Go outside. Go for a bike ride. Just come back normal. I'm already tired from crying my eyes out again. Anyway, I just wanted to shout you guys out and just tell you what's been on my brain about this, you know. Shout out to Josh from Texas, Paul McLean, Venom Splatter, Jaron Lumpkin, King, Ms. Sunny's Life, who is the, just cracks me up, who is the epitome of just awesome and cool. Tracy Doodlebug, how come I love your name? Iron Tusk, Amy Himmel, Queen. Oh, I love Miss Sunny's Life. Al Rivers, Carl Bennett, of course. Duranova, which is awesome. Oz is higher than a cloud. Eric Fluger, reminds me of Whoville. Military Outlaw, dope. Beth Compton, Queen. Thomas Jones, Mark B, MB. And I cannot say this name, but I love this name because it's got lots of S's in there, and I love to say Shabran Shu. I'm so sorry, I destroyed that name. Rivastava. That's very cool. And he wrote a very nice comment as well. So did Country Girl. So did Dan Murphy. So did Shawana, Queen, No Knockoffs Radio. Party Marty, I'm so happy to see PM back. That is awesome. Adorical, Pug Mama, Mad Dog Jones, Raymond Grinke, Ronan, The Grateful Freds, Nitro. Thank you for sending positive energy prayers. You know, I'm not trying to offend anybody if they don't believe in God. You know, I myself I do believe in God. I find huge comfort in that, and my belief in God may be different from the way you believe in God. You may not believe in God. Am I gonna hate you? No. Am I gonna dislike you? No. The only way for me to dislike you is if you are a bad person, and in my book, Hurting Children, in any form, to me you're bad. You're just bad. Unless your child loses their mind, is acting absolutely out of control, and may harm themselves or others, and you got to give them a spank. That's different. That's not being bad. That's being a parent. That's being a responsible adult. But if you're beating the crap out of your kid every day where your kid is scared, if you're abusing your child sexually, there's incest or molestation, you're a pedophile, and you're not getting any kind of help, you're not seeking treatment, taking your kid to a safe place to get away from you, to me, you're a bad person. To me, you're just the bottom of the barrel. I'm sorry. If I could take your kid away from you, I would. And if that offends you, well, then it's offensive. I just don't feel that's fair. Children do not have a choice. I don't care what you say. I don't care what. Kids will do whatever it takes for you to love them. They will do whatever it takes to make you happy. That's their way of surviving. It's called survival. If you scream at your child relentlessly every day where they come home sad, or they're just sad in general, they don't want to be around you, you're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong. Your kid should want to hug you. Your kid should want to make you pictures and be around you and wear your clothes and put on makeup on you or their faces. They should want to laugh. They should want to show you and bug you 24/7. My kids do. I don't want them to bug me 24/7. I'll tell them, you guys are driving me crazy. I feel like crying. I feel like crying right now. Cry. And I say it just like that. If I gotta squeeze the tears out for you guys to give me 5 seconds to breathe, I will do so. And they think it's funny. And that's okay. Because I'm telling them they're annoying the hell out of me. But I'm saying it in a funny way. So that they know that they can tell me in a funny way that they don't give a S. And then we just, either go our separate ways. I run away and hide in my closet until they find me. I'll drink a glass of water. We'll breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth 3 times. It helps with concentration. It helps with alleviating a lot of things. And last but not least, I want to shout out to all of you who made it through this video. I am so sorry. I hope this doesn't go out because I look like a monster. I sound like a monster. I sound like I'm having a breakdown, and I'm not. These are just random things as a parent, as a guardian, as a mom, as a woman, that weigh on my mind heavily. And I'm scared too. I'm scared to see if Marshall writes me back. At the same time, I have to know. He made it miraculously. The first heart attack, he came back, you know? And we're just hoping maybe 2 miracles in a year is possible. I know it is. You know, but we can't get everything we want all the time. And I don't want to be that person that says that, you know? So, anyway. Thank you, just thank you. Train squad. I'm going to try to get myself together, because if you go to my community tab, shout out to Kent. He was like, I sent you money to do alcohol videos. That's true, videos. And thank you guys for getting us to 22K. I have no idea why. Look it, I wore glasses to see if you guys would like run for your lives. You guys didn't. You guys came and checked out me and my glasses. I look at these videos. I put up my standby picture. That's because I couldn't get myself together. I was just a nightmare mess. So anyway, go to my channel, you go to community, okay? Scroll down, there's Fable's channel. There's the jerky. Here it is. Trello, right here. These are paid requests. And you click it, you go to that site, and you see your videos here. You can scroll up or down, scroll up or down. These are reactions in progress that I still need to, you know, edit and all that. These are nice people that just, for some reason, donate, you know, maybe just to help. It helps with groceries and stuff like that, I'll tell you that. It's really cool to be able to do that. I'm like, wow. These are reactions that are completed. One day I'll erase all these, but not anytime soon. These are reactions that are blocked. These are all, oh, there is a thing called reactions being edited. Well, anyway. So they're here, guys. I gotta go through my emails. I know they're insane. But please write down comments. Please write down, you know, like, good God, girl, you scare the hell out of us being all swollen without makeup. That's fine. It's not gonna hurt my feelings because I tell myself worse stuff. Say, good God, you know, this is more information than we needed, or, gee, this was a waste of a video. Whatever you want. Because this is basically being recorded against my better judgment. And if I send it out, then I'm not as vain as I thought I was. And believe me, I'm pretty vain. Or conceited, or whatever you guys want to call it. And I really shouldn't be. Like, there's lots of flaws that I have, but, you know, people are vain and, you know, shouldn't be vain, and people think they're smart and they really aren't, you know. It's just one of those things called flaws. So anyway, write whatever you want, but please give me feedback, because I want to know if you guys understand, you know. I want to get all these things done, but life does happen. People we care about get hurt, and sometimes we gotta slow down. Kids should not be shoved to the side just so you could try to get ahead on something. I'm not trying to get ahead on YouTube. I would like others to get ahead. I want to help Juice TV. I want to help Main Man. I want to help Hillbilly 84, Nefarious, Blind Sight, Cloud9, T-Rev. I mean, everybody, if all I did was just react to your guys' music or what you guys were doing, I would never have time for reactions. I wouldn't have time for my kids. So, shout out to Zane TV. That can't be. I've always been the one to put others before me. And now it's my kids before me. For a while, it was kind of YouTube and kids at the same time, which is not good. But no, my kids come first. I love them, and they're coming into their own. They're having more of a realization of life and what's going on, and I want to be there to guide them. I also want to do more. I've been outside. Oh gosh, I didn't wear my gloves, my gardening gloves. Oh, mistake. Pulling out weeds. Oh, hands are swollen. Hands feel hurt, like a lot of stabbing sensation in my fingertips, because sometimes weeds have stickers and sometimes flowers have stickers, and they're just poking the crap out of me. It's like being poked with needles. It's not fun. But I was having so much fun planting and doing plant stuff that I just got carried away. So now my hands hurt like crazy from being stabbed. But I want to take you guys outside so you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me know if that's something you guys want to see. You know, my fairy garden. I have tons of fairy stuff. I've been gathering my things. Let me show you. See that little table? There's lots of fairy stuff in that little fairy basket. There's lots of, you guys have more stuff that I know what to do with. So, yeah, and this is before you guys came along. I work really hard. You know, I enjoy what I do, and people are very generous to me because they see that. My heart gets me in trouble a lot. I trust the wrong people a lot of times. I'm trying not to do that. Trying really hard not to do that. It hurts to keep looking up at you guys. So if I look down, it's because it's easier on my neck. If you made it to the end of this video, shout out to Juice TV. This is something that he taught me. Write neck in the comments, because I want to know how many people got through this video. I want to know how many people really care enough about me. Or are you just here for music? And that's okay. If you're here for music, write music. If you're here because of me and music, write neck and music. And I'm going to let you guys go, because this is enough of your time that I've taken. And I'll probably do more of these kinds of videos if you guys want me to. Scary and all. Love you guys. Well, that did not go the way I planned it. Oh, I'm down here. I have 4 screens, by the way, yeah.